Hello, I'm Bert Oliver, and welcome to Bowie News and Views. And today we have a special guest from the Bowie Elks Lodge number 2309, Wayne Becaft. Glad to have you, Wayne.
Bert, it's a pleasure being here.
He's our exalted ruler for that lodge. And Elks and Bowie Elks have been here a very long time, Wayne, and I'd hope we could get together and talk about what you're now doing, currently doing for programming, what organizational help you might need for members, and so forth. But let me ask you to give me a little history of how the Bowie Elks began. Do you?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. The Bowie Elks were chartered in 1964. We are 46 years old or so. We have been in the Gambrels area since our beginning. The story behind that is Bowie applied for a liquor license in Prince George's County and was denied. So we moved to next county over and applied for it there. We originally started at a restaurant called Willow Brown's there at Route 3 and 450. And have since moved up and built a place up on 450 Extended towards Annapolis. And that's where we've been for some 40 years or so.
Yeah, and it's a nice building, and I've been there for a lot of things, and the community has over the years, well ran. And that's a good point, the organization of the meeting area, and you do a lot of things there for the community and for members, of course. But what's the last thing you may have done that was a charitable organized event?
Well, we hold every year a charity event, actually. And we held one back in, I believe, November of last year. And the charity organization was Make-A-Wish Foundation. And we actually made the Elks magazine with that function, and we had an opportunity to pick the wish for the child, and we understand it was a great time had by the child.
Oh, I'll bet. And what a great idea. And that's, in a nutshell, what Elks is all about.
That is correct.
Let me ask you, Wayne, how long have you been with the Elks?
I've been a member for 12 years now.
12 years. And you've moved up in the ranks and organizational leadership. Is this something that for new membership, a lot of people would like to get involved and participate? And apparently you did when you joined, because you don't become exalted ruler unless you participate, contribute a lot. So you've done very well. But do you have the time now more than the time? Are you retired or?
No, I'm not. I have a full-time job.
Yeah.
I'm in computer technology for healthcare industry. And no, that's a full-time job, and I do as many hours as I can with the lodge, with whatever needs to be done.
And that's what it takes.
And we are a volunteer organization. Even though we do have paid help, we are voluntary as much as we can.
How many members do you have now?
We are currently at about 500 members. We've lost a few, like most of the organizations have over the years.
Yes.
But we are still strong at 500.
Oh, very obvious you are. And I know so much of what you do it's not like the problem with us, we're a small community in a big community, I believe. And we don't have all the news that we used to have. Like the Bowie Blade News, they seem to do less community things. The Crofton Crier does less. So getting the word out is very important, and that's why we invited you here today to help do that. The trend nationally, I understand, with a lot of community organizations, is a competition for the members' time. And you've seen some of that, no doubt, with your time there, of whereas members' growth has not been there. and you've held up very good with your numbers. Do you have any thoughts about why Kiwanis and Rotary, Lions, other organizations have not grown like they once did? Do you think it's competition from, at one time someone said, well, the young guys are out on the soccer games with their kids, can't get to meetings. But recently there's some thought about maybe the internet is occupying so much time of our people that it may affect them being involved in community activities. What do you think?
Well, I agree in that sense. I believe, as most organizations, as we've discussed in the past, it's trying to compete for the few hours that families have. Mm-hmm. And I think the big thing here today, based on a few years ago, today it is a family thing. We need to be able to compete with other organizations, schools with soccer and things like that, which is very popular around here. Mm-hmm. And we need to be able to do things for the family, not just for the member themselves. Mm-hmm. And that's where the competition is. We've got to get them in. We've got to keep them. We've got to provide things for not only the members and the adults, but for the kids as well. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're having problems today, I think, in most organizations, because we are an older organization. The average age, I just heard recently, for an elk is 68 years old.
Oh, boy.
We just came back from the convention, and the oldest member there was 91. So wow. 68 is an average age that leaves a lot of room to compete for the younger family members.
Yes, that seems to be the challenge, Wayne. That's exactly what I wanted to talk about, because a lot of people, if they understood exactly what they could, the results they could get by being a part of the Elks, personal satisfaction, their contribution in areas they may not alone be able to have as much results, like your drug awareness program. How is that program going for you?
That is one of the strongest programs we have at Bowie Lodge. We have just, this past summer, we've had 2 events. We were participating in the Bowie Fest, mm-hmm. Handing out literatures. And we were just recently at National Night Out at Allen's Pond, mm-hmm. handing out literature again. It is one of our strongest programs. We have several dedicated members who keep that activity moving mm-hmm. forward. And wherever we can, we venture out mm-hmm. with our bags of information for drug awareness.
Yeah, that's a great one, and no doubt so you've got a national recognition for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and now drug awareness program is a national effort, isn't that right?
Yes, it is. Good. It is one of the major efforts for the National Organization of Elks. Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I noticed, and I might mention, in the magazine, the Elks magazine, it's a good job always in here, and it illustrates some of the other organizations nationally. But they have some great stories in here, like this one was the Voice of America and how it started and so forth, which is, too, letting people know how things, because the Voice of America is changing now rapidly. Used to be one of our national pride and joy about the Voice of America around the world. Now with the internet, it seems like Voice of America is losing out. And it kind of gives me the impression there that that all organizations are going to have to probably emphasize getting value out of maybe in participating, feeling good about it. And that drug awareness program, I think, is a great opportunity for someone that joins your Elks to get involved with that, particularly if they've been spending a lot of time with young people in their efforts anyway, whether it's soccer or otherwise. And people told me with some of the other, like Kiwanis, Bowie recently turned in their charter last year or two. They used to be one of the strongest service organization here. So it's not a matter of organization. It's a matter of what's happening to influence their time. And what you're trying to do and what you said is because your attention is not just to the member, but involving the family and the children in the family particularly. So Wayne, I know a few years ago, the Elks started accepting members from women members. How long has that been going on now?
That, I believe, has been going on for about 12 years now.
12 years?
Yes.
That's good. I noticed a lot of people active names in your bulletin and that are involved.
Yeah, women have taken leads on several of our committees.
Mm-hmm.
They are a vital part of our membership,
Mm-hmm.
and we welcome them every day.
And of course, you did have Ladies of the Elks.
We did have Ladies of the Elks. Unfortunately, I believe the opening of the Elks membership to the ladies
Mm-hmm.
Was the downfall of our auxiliary, the Ladies of the Elks.
No doubt.
They ran into the situation where they could not get members to step forward to be their officers.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, last year was their last year.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to understand. And I know they were really very active and great results over the years, but now they're working with, and a convention I went to when I was a representative for Ruler-Bowie, that question came up with Kiwanis International, and that's probably in 70s, late 70s, and they have moved along after that. And that convention, the voice vote came up, then a ballot vote, and they did not approve Kiwanis members, ladies. Later they did. And I understand that helped in a lot of different organizations to strengthen their club and have activities that, because their contribution was real good. But you know, there comes a time to all these organizations that your balance, no doubt your balance is not very good. One thing that I happen to be personally interested in and know is you have youth camps. Like we have a youth camp, Camp Barrett, in Anne Arundel County. That, tell me who usually goes and how do you get, I know how you're involved with it, but how can people participate in it? Yeah,
Camp Barrett is our the major project for our state association, which includes Maryland, Delaware, and the District of Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
Every year we put 6 weeks of camp out, 3 weeks for boys and 3 weeks for girls, usually the end of June into the last part of July. The ages are 9 years old to 13. Mm-hmm. Each lodge can sponsor as many children as they want to send. We sponsor 24 usually, in at least last 5 years we've sent at least 24 mm-hmm. Children. This year we made priority to members' children, mm-hmm. members' grandchildren, and then anyone from the outside who knew of our camp, and we have many that do, could apply, and we sent about 10 that were not member children.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's wonderful.
So,
you know, what do they do there?
Well, it's a full-fledged camp. It's an accredited camp. They have an Olympic-sized swimming pool. They have camping, archery, trails, everything that you could find in any camp across the country. Mm-hmm. It's 180 acres, I believe, and kids have a great time. We have counselors that we bring on, and as I said, an Olympic-sized swimming pool that they enjoy, and the full week of services that they get.